My name is Richard Crawford, and I've built my career on representing luxury brands around the world. And in doing so, I've had the privilege of having some truly out-of-the-ordinary experiences. But at what cost? It's getting harder and harder to blindly ignore the impact our extravagant lifestyle is having on the planet and its people. So I've decided to investigate whether there really is a sustainable way to visit the wonders of the world but still have extraordinary luxury. Can I have globetrotting adventures without leaving a significant footprint? Well, let's find out. And by using the basic principles that define ecotourism, which are minimal impact, sustainability, social responsibility, and of course, let's not forget overall guest experience, I will rate my travels around the planet to see if we really can make a difference. In this episode, we head north to one of the four corners of the earth. We'll be visiting an island off of an island in one of the most remote and dramatic regions in the world. Fogo Island is the home to the world-renowned Fogo Island Inn. Made famous not just by its unique design, but by its mission of reinvigorating the economy of this tiny community. Join me as we step into a culture that has almost been frozen in time, as we learn the skills that have helped these people survive for hundreds of years, and we see how they are pivoting to prosper into the 21st century. So let's journey through the ice pack to experience the landscapes and meet the characters that make this place so special. Welcome to Leave No Trace. Newfoundland and Labrador is the easternmost province of Canada and is at the northeastern corner of North America. It is home to over 500,000 people spread across both the mainland and 7,000 tiny islands. One of these is Fogo Island, and take my word for it, it is not the easiest place to get to. Well, we're here, but we're not where we need to be. Welcome to Gander, Newfoundland. Now, Gander, Newfoundland was actually famous at one point for being the largest airport in the world, and it was a vital link for air traffic between North America and Europe. But more recently, it was famous because over 6,000 people needed to land here on the day of the 9/11 attacks. Now, that has been the subject itself of many books, movies, and a Broadway musical called Come From Away. Now, I've come from away, but I'm not there yet. In fact, I need to get in a car and drive to the Farewell Ferry. So I've come from away, but I need to go to Farewell. That's all rather confusing. So where we're headed to now is an island, off of an island. That's how remote this place is. In fact, it's been designated as one of the four corners of the earth. And as with many communities like this, the population has dwindled over the years. In fact, there's only about 2,500 people now living on the island. However, a lady by the name of Zita Cobb and her brothers have made it their mission to bring people back to the island. And part of that was to build the world-famous Fogo Island Inn, one of the most Instagrammable places in the world. But it's not just a pretty picture. The inn has won several awards throughout the years for its sustainability, its luxury, and its community programs. And we're here to find out why. Unless you fly in a private plane, the only way to access the island is via the ferry. We travelled at the tail end of pack ice season, but more on that later. And I didn't realise how spectacular it would actually be. Although, with the Titanic sinking only 500 miles away, you would think they'd be a little more careful ploughing through the ice. After the ferry lands on Fogo Island, it's a very scenic half-hour drive to the inn. Oh wow, that has to be it right there. Look at that. Oh, that's stunning. That's so beautiful. Wow. Well, here I am at last. Welcome to the world famous Fogo Island Inn. Before we can talk about the present, we have to talk about the past. Now, settlers first started coming here about 400 years ago from Ireland and from England to fish. But even back then, they weren't allowed to set up permanent residence. They had to go back home in the off season. But when they did eventually settle permanently, fishing wasn't just a way of life, it was the only way of life. So much so that they didn't even have a currency here. Everything was bartered for using the fish. Now, fast forward to about 1960, and commercial fishing had depleted all of the waters of fish and absolutely affected the fishing on the local communities here and devastated their economy. Now, the government decided to introduce a rehabilitation program, and many of the communities around here who had never really spoken to each other got together and created a co-op, which gave them a little strength. But some of the families were still heavily affected by the rehabilitation program, and one of those families was a Cobb's family, whose dad came in one night with the only fish that he had. He slapped it on the table. He said, "I've had enough of this." He burned his boat and he took his family and left the island. But he asked his daughter to do one thing. He asked Zira to figure out how fish could be turned into money. And boy, did she do that. She became one of the most successful businesswomen in the world. So I thought I'd talk to the woman herself, who I'm sure is in a slightly warmer location than I am. Zita, how are you? So Zita, where did this all begin?
Well, probably for me, it began in 1958, which is the year I was born. And I'm an eighth generation Fogo Islander, and I was raised in Joe Bat's Arm on Fogo Island. And when I was 10, the worst of the 20th century came down on top of us in the form of the industrialization of the fishery. And overnight, we went from being confident people who believed there was a future as long as the fish kept coming, and we believed the fish would never let us down, to seeing just about every fish taken out of the ocean by these monster boats that came. And so my father said to me as a 10-year-old, he says, "You have to figure out how this money system works before it eats everything we love." And so I studied business. My career was away, and being a sensible person, I took the money from my career, I came home, and I invested it on Fogo Island.
So tell me a little bit more about the Shorefast charity.
Shorefast is a rope, it's a tether that joins a traditional cod trap to the shore. So it is a metaphor for may we always be shorefast here in this place. And so Shorefast has kind of two arms. One is an arm called Shorefast Social Enterprises that runs our businesses, and the businesses are the inn, a furniture business, a small handline cod business, because the cod are trying to make a comeback. So we want to build a new model, a new market model for that, so that we have to take fewer cod out of the ocean to make an economic difference. And an ice cream shop, because, this island has 26 kind of edible berries that are all just pleading to be turned into ice cream. And on the other arm, we have a whole set of charitable programs and initiatives, the biggest one being Fogo Island Arts, which is a residency-based contemporary art program, and all kinds of programs, including geology, that all really have to do with knowledge, holding on to knowledge, adding to knowledge, sharing knowledge. I love business, and I think we can build strong economies that support the things we actually need and actually love.
And is there anything that you recommend that I do while I'm here on the island?
Well, I think the most important thing is for all of us humans, not just you, is we have trouble getting out of our own way. And I think I would suggest that find a rock to fall in love with and sit on that rock and spend time looking at the ocean, and then go find the Fogo Islander to have a beer with.
Sustainable or not, this is an incredible piece of architecture, and it sits like a beacon right on the shoreline. I thought after a long day of travel I'd get some of the old cobwebs out of the joints and go for a walk right along the coast. You know what, if I'm not back in an hour, call that a search party. Coming up next, I take a look around this incredible property. And later on, I try my hand, rather unsuccessfully, at ice fishing. When I went to bed last night, I was lulled to sleep by the sound of the ocean waves crashing up on the shore. But when I woke up this morning and I opened my curtains, I looked out the window and the ocean was gone. And basically what had happened is this pack ice had come from up north and landed itself right here on the shore. Now in Fogo Island you can expect 7 seasons. You've got winter, pack ice, spring, you have trap berth, summer, berry and late fall, and you can expect any 2 or 3 of those seasons in one day. Now, I've been joined by a few of my little friends back here on the ice. You can see a little seal, I think he waved on to you, and there's several of them up and down the shoreline. It's really cool to see them. I just hope we don't get another visitor here that shows up every now and again, and that's polar bears, because polar bears love these guys for breakfast. They might like me for breakfast too. So I'm really excited this morning because I'm going to meet a local legend. And I'll presume, Paddy, is that you?
Hi, Richard.
Very nice to meet you, Richard Crawford.
Welcome
Pleasure.
to Fogo Island.
Thank you for meeting me down here.
Yes.
Now, in the short time that I've been here, I have learned that everything, and I mean everything, has a story to it. I've also learned that you are the man to tell those stories, is that correct?
I'll tell you what you need to know.
So, Paddy, when I first arrived here at Fogo Island and came around the corner and saw the inn sitting there, beautiful big structure, it literally took my breath away. It was absolutely beautiful just sitting here on the shoreline. So tell me a little bit about the overall design of the structure.
Well, the structure is built on an X-axis. On one part of the axis, all the rooms are located, and
Yep.
on the other axis, you find all the special places like the dining room,
Yep.
lounge, cinema, library, all these.
And the other thing that's obviously a glaring feature is these huge poles that are coming out on each end. What is that representative of?
Well, those are stilts, and that's a nod to the fishing stages that dot the coast here.
So this is a dining room. I have to say, Paddy, it's really impressive. It's got a 180-degree view, nice tall, floor-to-ceiling windows. So that's impressive from where you're dining. But what's also quite impressive are these, what I would call chandeliers. Is that the right word to use?
We call them our rope chandeliers.
Yeah.
And people in the community put them together.
Oh, fantastic. So once again, getting the community involved here, right?
Yes.
Fantastic. Well, they're absolutely beautiful. The inn is designed as a gathering place for both locals and tourists alike. So it has a range of spaces including an art gallery, library, gym, and even a cinema, playing all the best programs. Of course. My favourite show's on at 2:15.
So another story behind one of the design elements is these lights over the bar. They were inspired by white dots that you see on fishing stages that are around the different communities.
Well, look, Pat, I have to say, I really appreciate you spending the time with me today. You're a wealth of knowledge, and I definitely got a much better understanding and appreciation for the property, so thank you very, very much. I really appreciate it. The inn has 29 rooms, and they could have made more. So that's actually by design, because they wanted to mitigate over-tourism. And they also wanted to relieve any pressure on infrastructure and local resources. Now, each room is individual and there are lots of configurations. And I'm in a family suite now, which has a master sleeping area, but it also has a little nook here for the kiddies. And there are a couple of features that I really love about the rooms. Traditionally, every home in the Newfoundland area had wallpaper, and the inn wanted to represent that. So they had designers come in and design wallpaper specifically for the inn itself. And in this particular wallpaper, you see some representations of some of the buildings, some of the animals, and some of the fishing vessels that would have been here in the islands. And there's lots of different designs throughout all the rooms. Now, something else that I really like is that the window opens completely. So it gives you the opportunity to use the binoculars that are provided in every room and have a little look out there, and ultimately at some point you might see some seals or even some icebergs, and if you're really lucky you might even see a whale. Now, what I do like also, if you close it, it keeps the noise out because it's triple pane glass, but that's not why it was designed like that. It was designed like that because it's very heat efficient. Now, the last thing I want to show you, I love this little story, is that in every room, in the bathrooms, some of the tiles have some words written on them. Combined together throughout the whole hotel, Those words actually make up a poem called Wadham's Poem, written in 1756, and it's ultimately a navigational guide for all the sailors in this area. Welcome to the Flat Earth Suite. Now, before we actually get into the room, there are a couple of features that I want to show you that are really unique. First of all, this little panel here controls a white noise generator. Now, I've traveled all over the world and I've never seen this before. It's really cool. If I turn the volume all the way up, you can actually hear the sound of crashing waves. Or are you actually listening to the sound of crashing waves? Now, another really unique feature about this inn is that this room, and in fact all the rooms, everything in them are handmade locally. So even when you first walk in the door here, you've got these wooden coat hangers. Also in every room, you have a Paddyman shawl and a Paddyman throw. And I'll just throw it on just in case it gets chilly, although I shouldn't have to worry about that because we have this thermostat right here. I can put the temperature to whatever I want. Now, this little nondescript panel here, remember this because I'm going to tell you something really important later. Wow, yes. So the first thing you'll notice when you come into this main living space is the height of the ceilings. It is basically double story. And of course they have floor to ceiling windows, which is good because it does justice to that beautiful view out the window. Now, the room itself is heated by a wood burning stove, which of course is very sustainable. But if you remember that little panel that I showed you earlier, when you switch that on, there are little slats in the ceiling that open. Air comes in, and if you'll notice on the walls here, it doesn't go all the way to the floor, so the air flows out there. So basically every 15 minutes, the air is completely recycled in the room. Now, all of the furniture in the room was put together by a team of international designers, and they've chosen some antique from Labrador. But the rest of the furniture is actually handmade locally on the island, and it's all very eclectic, it's all very comforting and really, really warm. We had a look at a sunset tub. This is a sunrise tub, and yeah, what better way to start the day than to be sitting in the bath watching the sun come up right over the harbour. Now, I love the bathroom suites. One of the features that I really like is the wide open shower space, and also the fact that it has a rainhead shower. Now, all of the amenities are made in St. John exclusively for the property, and of course it's all in recyclable and reusable containers. One of the most fun and unique features that I love about Fogo Island Inn is all of the bathrooms have this remote control for the commode. And let me tell you from experience, after coming in from a cold day in the snow, it's kind of nice to get your butt warmed. So if we climb these stairs here, we get to an elevated level. And on the elevated level is the sleeping quarters. And why wouldn't it be elevated? Because ultimately, you would get the best view out the window. Now, this bed, in fact, all the beds on the property are designed specifically for the inn. What's interesting is all of the sheets are actually linen and not cotton, because linen, believe it or not, has a lower carbon footprint. And a nice touch is that every bed has this quilt, which is handmade locally, but we'll get into that later. Now, what better way to finish the tour of Fogo Island Inn? Hold on a second, let me just get changed. So just when you thought you'd seen it all, here I am on the roof of the inn, where they have wood-burning saunas and jacuzzis, and I have a very well-deserved cocktail after a long day. And I'm going to sit here. I'm going to take in this beautiful but very unique view. Cheers. Once I drag myself out of the jacuzzi, I'll be heading to meet the locals. I make friends with the quilt maker, I make friends with the jam maker, I even make friends with the furniture. There's a good table, yes you are. One of Shorefast's community enterprises is the Fogo Island Workshops. And it was created originally to produce all of the furniture for the Fogo Island Inn itself, but the furniture became so popular that they're actually now selling it all around the world. And all of the furniture is made in this building right behind me, a heritage building that is over 100 years old. And it was originally the Society of United Fishermen's place where they would come and make all the decisions about the fishing industry. So let's go take a look. Oh, good. Hey, how are you? I'm Richard. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Richard. I'm Heather. Welcome to the Society of United Fishermen Hall.
Well,
Come
I'm here
on
to
in.
get a fishing permit. Am I at the right place?
You must be. Come on in.
Thank you. Oh, wow. So this is the workshop.
This is it.
So let me get this straight. Every piece of furniture that's in Fogo Island Inn is made in this workshop.
This is where it happened.
Why? Why here?
Well, when we were filling the inn with furniture, we decided it wouldn't make sense to fill it with items from New York or Toronto or London.
Right.
Instead, we needed to make it on Fogo Island.
Right. And what about finding the craftsmanship to do it?
Well, luckily, Fogo Islanders have a history of boat building and house building.
Yeah.
And they always say, if you can build a boat, you can build anything.
I guess that's true. Hey man, how are you?
Good, are you?
Good, good. You're working hard there, I see.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, Heather, I have to say, I actually recognize this piece of furniture from my room. Is that right? Am I
That's right.
correct?
That's a puppy table, and it's in every room at the Fogo Island Inn.
Puppy table. What's it called? A puppy table.
It's called a puppy table because it's a loyal piece of furniture that can follow you around a room.
That is brilliant. I love it. I love it. So tell me a little more about it.
So the puppy table was designed by one of our architects named Nick Herder. He was the original architect of the Fogo Island Inn, and he was given the challenge of creating a table using a single board of wood. So what gets cut out from the front becomes the leg in the back. So there's virtually no material loss.
That is so simple, but so brilliant. There's a good table. Yes, you are. You're a good table. All right, Heather, so I see all the raw material over here, all your lumber. Where are you guys sourcing that from?
Yeah, that's our stock of yellow birch. We try to stick with yellow birch because it is a species that's native to Newfoundland. As much as possible, we try to source within the province. Sometimes we do have to go as far as New Brunswick, Nova Scotia. Try not to go any further than Quebec. We get our wood as close to home as possible.
Yeah. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe all of the lumber that was used to build the inn itself was actually sourced from one piece of land to keep it consistent and sustainable.
You did your research. That's absolutely true.
I did. Now, you just mentioned to me that if you can build a boat, you can build anything, which was a fantastic line, by the way. But how does that relate to what you're building here?
Well, traditionally, the boat builders on this island would have used these juniper timbers to build their punts, or wooden boats. These are sourced by finding trees that have the specific curve. So it goes underground into the root of a tree, from the root of the tree into the trunk of the tree. And you get these great grains that give boat strength.
Yep.
So our designer, Hélène Fortin, who is from Quebec, she was fascinated by these curved timbers and the fact that that's how they grew. And so she decided to use these same timbers in the legs of her punt chair, which are in every room at the Fogo Island Inn.
Okay, giving it strength and
Absolutely.
longevity, obviously.
That's right.
Can we see a finished product?
Absolutely. Let's head across the street.
Perfect. Okay, so this is our chair.
You recognize the timbers,
I
don't
do,
you?
yes, I do.
So these are the same timbers that would have been used in a punt. And so in the punt chair, they're now used for the legs and the back support.
Yeah, now I like a lot of the furniture that I see at the end, and you know, if I wanted to buy some and take it home, it'd be crazy for me to get on a plane with it. So how could I actually get it?
Lucky for you, we do ship worldwide. You just have to come visit us on our website.
Oh, cool. Well, seeing as I've spent so much time with you today, I presume I'm getting a birthday chair for free?
We'll see what we can do.
I had mentioned earlier that each room has a nice little personal touch to it. And in fact, every bed has one of these gorgeous quilts, handmade locally by master quilt makers. I'm also told that each quilt is signed by the person who made it. So, yep, there we go, look at that. Anne-Marie Newman, 2012. Now, this is a small island, so I don't imagine it'll be that difficult to find Anne-Marie. So let's go get her and find out all about this quilt. Anne-Marie?
No, I'm Marie here. Sorry about that.
Okay. Anne-Marie who makes quilts?
Yes, I am.
Oh, thank goodness I found you. I'm Richard Crawford. Very nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you.
So, first of all, Anne-Marie, thank you for keeping me warm at night.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate it. Also, I have a question for you. How many man-hours does it typically take to make a quilt like this?
Probably over 100 man
Over
hours.
100?
Yes.
That's forever. So they've actually been making quilts on these islands for centuries, and it makes sense to use all pieces of clothing and all pieces of cloth, and like everything else in this kind of environment, you have to be completely sustainable, so they make these beautiful quilts. Oh wow, these quilts are really pretty. Look at these.
They are.
Oh hey, so there's more than one quilt maker on the island.
Yes.
Very nice to meet you. I'm Richard Crawford.
Hello, Richard. I'm Janet.
Janet,
Pleased to
very,
meet you.
very nice to meet you. So tell me a little bit about the quilts.
These designs are some of our heritage designs made locally, Fogo Island and Change Islands.
Yep.
And we're working with about 30, 35 women at the moment.
Yep. And all the people that make the quilts, are they employed by Fogo Island workshops?
We pay for their labor.
Oh,
so we
right.
give them everything, the fabrics and threads and whatever's required, and
Yep.
pay them for their labor, and back they come.
And is this better than what they were doing before, before it was a Fogo Island workshops?
Well, before Shorefast itself
Yeah.
arrived on the island, some of these quilts would have been selling for not nearly enough
Oh,
money.
well, they were almost giving them away, I bet you.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
So as
right.
well as the quilts, I'm noticing that these have some other items here. What's the inspiration behind these?
Yes, these are some of the knitted products that we sell, and this is a snake cushion.
Oh, cool.
So this was seen at Elizabeth Ford's house
Yep.
like 50 years ago.
Yep.
So the inspiration came from that. It's a beautiful, colorful design that people can easily put in their suitcase, and away they go.
So everybody can get a little piece of Fogo Island. And if you don't want to take this, I guess you can get
Hence,
a pair of
there you
socks
go.
too. It's the
So,
same thing,
yeah,
right?
very practical, yeah.
very thing. Now I have to ask, over here, this quilt has actually caught my eye because obviously it is very, very different from all the quilts we've looked at so far. Why does it look so different?
It is different. It's our first attempt at contemporary quilts. It's
Wow.
called Held Over Water,
Yep.
and the inspiration came from the stilts at the inn, actually, even though the stilts are used in all kinds of Newfoundland vernacular
I can see it. I can see it. And who made this
Great.
quilt?
I designed
You
this.
did?
I designed this, actually. yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So this
Thanks.
is just another example of how the inn and the charity are giving back to the community, saving those ancient skills basically that come from the island, and of course reinvesting back into the community. Now, Anne-Marie's quilt kept me really warm the other night.
And like it should.
Like it
Yes,
should, right?
yes,
So I'm
yes.
going to go ahead and test yours and kind of do a little comparison.
Please do.
All right, fantastic. Well, time to go to bed, and I will see you in the morning, Janet.
Okay, nighty night.
Nighty night. Ugh. Coming up next, I jump in my very own Tesla to explore the island, and I learn what warms the locals up on those cold, lonely nights. Cheers, Slanja. Welcome to another wonderful day here on Fogo Island in the Fogo Island Inn. Now, one of the really cool perks of staying at the Flat Earth Suite is that you get exclusive use of this beautiful Tesla, and what better way to tour the island than in the most sustainable way. Let's go! So in the short time that I've been here, I've realized that it's all about the community. It truly is the fabric of the island. So I thought I'd take this opportunity in the Tesla to drive around the island and meet some of these very entertaining characters that truly have made Fogo Island so famous. It truly is beautiful here. I keep seeing wildlife. I see seals, I see otters, and I'm told no matter what time of the year that you're here, what one of the 7 seasons, there's always beauty to see. And in the winter it's really rugged and cold looking, still spectacular. And in summer, apparently it's really green and really lush. Hi, are you Phil?
I'm Phil.
Hey Phil, I'm Richard. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you,
Now I
Richard.
hear you're going to take me a little ice fishing today.
We are, so
So
yes.
we just need a few fishing rods and all of that stuff.
We got the whole gear right here.
That's
Here's
all.
your rod.
That's it. That's what we're going fishing with.
That's what we're going fishing with.
And what is this?
And this is the ice auger. This is going to make the hole down through the ice for us.
The ice auger. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. All right, well, I'll help you carry that.
It seems obvious that you can't go ice fishing without crossing a little snow. But for a city slicker like me, it wasn't as easy as Phil was making it look.
The snow is soft today, as we know. Hopefully we'll catch some.
Come ice fishing, he said.
Yeah.
It'll be fun, he said.
It was all going so well until my cameraman Ben, contrary to his own advice, stepped off the beaten path.
Is the snow deep there, Ben?
I've got some serious shrinkage going on. Okay, everything's fine. Oh, perfect. So
What was the
calm.
advice you gave me, Ben? Follow in somebody else's footsteps, right?
Yep, there we go.
Okay, this is where we're going to try for the fish.
This is a spot right here.
This is the spot right here. So we got to be very careful with this object because it's very sharp.
So that would make me not the sharpest tool in the shed.
So here we go.
Do you mind if I try it?
Oh, you can go right ahead, sir.
I'll give it a wee shot.
There you are.
Come on.
This time of the year, the ice is very soft.
You fooled me. So this is soft ice.
It's easy for me to say, isn't it?
Easy for you to say.
Yes.
So you've been doing this all your life.
Oh, yes. Here we are.
I'm okay.
Well, I'm sure that.
So, from what I can gather, ice fishing basically consists of putting a worm on a tiny bit of line, attached to a tiny bit of wood, and then jigging it up and down while sitting in the middle of a lake in the freezing cold for hours on end.
You want lots of patience.
Yeah,
Ice fishing.
lots of patience.
You need lots of patience.
Is that enough patience yet?
No.
But it seems sometimes that patience pays off.
Ah!
Oh, wow, look at that.
Ah!
Oh,
No.
man. Oh my goodness.
We got dinner.
Well, we had dinner, but not for long.
What kind of fish is this?
It's a young salmon peel.
Oh,
Oh,
there you go.
there we go.
That's what we wanted to do anyway,
Oh,
right?
yes, that's
I hope he
exactly.
doesn't catch my line.
So, it was back to the drawing board. Crouching, and jigging, and freezing, and starving. That's the life of an ice fisher.
You have no luck. Ah.
But luckily, a hearty meal wasn't too far away.
I smell crab. I definitely smell crab. Ah, gentlemen, how are you?
Good, and yourself?
I'm doing good. Now this, ladies and gentlemen, is a traditional Newfoundland boil-up. And with the Foley brothers, no less. 3 of the Foley brothers, right? How lucky am I? How lucky am I? And what better way to celebrate a tough day of crabbing and ice fishing than to come here and enjoy a nice big boil-up. Now, let's have some crab.
First, there's a lot more here than crab.
Oh, that's even better. Thank you.
A boil-up is one of Newfoundland's favourite traditions, where a group of friends, old or new, gather in the woods to enjoy tea and local delicacies cooked over an open fire. Now today's menu not only featured locally caught crab and fish, including some amazing fish cakes, but one of my favourites, homemade baked beans.
Heinz, eat your heart out, man. These are my new favourite beans, Norman.
Very much. And now you have to get a few pickles and beets with them. That's what
I'm on my way. I'll just keep on going.
What impressed me the most was the variety of what was on offer and the effort that the brothers went to. The spreads, preserves, home-baked bread, and even an upside-down cake for dessert.
My God. This food is as good as any restaurant I've eaten at, and it just shows you how resourceful these people can actually be out here somewhere. Yeah, definitely better than some restaurant food I've eaten.
you can have more.
One of the truly great things about this island is its characters. And the Fogo Island Inn does a good job of introducing guests to the local community and all the characters that are in it. Now, I had the opportunity today through the inn to come and actually make some jam. So here I am, but I thought I was honestly going to be at a jam factory. I guess this might be it. Oh. Hey, how are you? I'm Richard Crawford. Nice to meet you. I was told I could come here and make some jam.
I'm Joan. Indeed you can. You come right in now.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
And we'll make jam.
I guess I'll be jamming with Joan.
Considering one of the island's 7 seasons is called berry season, it's reasonable to assume they play an important part in the local culinary scene. Traditionally, jams are made to preserve the berries once they are picked, and today it's all about blueberries. And Joan is revealing to me the secrets of her family's much guarded recipe.
Sandra called, she phoned me and she said, would you mind doing some jam for those guests that's coming out today? And I said, well, sure, I can make a bit of jam.
Right.
And then she kept calling me back. And then she'd phone, she'd say, would you make some more and do some more?
Yeah.
I said, okay, you know, they're liking it.
Right.
But I must say, the guests that came, it was not only about the jam, it was the experience of coming in and sitting in
somebody's
kitchen.
home.
Yeah.
It soon became pretty clear that the real hero here wasn't the jam. It was Joan herself. The jam making process quickly took a back seat to Joan's stories, and it was hard to even remember her secret family recipe when she had me laughing so hard.
Now we're getting
You made me say that. You made me say that.
But finally I got my hands on that sweet, sweet
Can you write on there too, Richard? Love Joan.
Now then, buddy. Love Joan.
And to bring this wonderful afternoon to a close, Joan suggested the traditional Fogo Island send-off.
We'll have a little drink now just to finish up our jam session.
Do that.
Cheers.
Cheers, Slanja.
Here you go.
You know you didn't thank her. You have to do it again.
Oh, you have to take that again? Cheers.
Cheers. There you go. All done.
You know you still didn't thank her.
Delicious. Oh, I forgot to do it again. Oh, I've got to say thank you. I've got to say thank you. So have I been a good boy?
Indeed you have, sir. You've been a really good boy.
Thank you very much.
There you
Cheers.
deserve a shot.
Slanja, and thank you.
Okay, so you're on your way now, but there's one thing you got to remember.
You bet.
Don't eat the jam until it cools down.
Yep.
Okay?
I promise you from the bottom of my heart, Joan, I won't even touch the jam.
Okay.
I love you. I love you, Joan.
I love you too. Take care.
You good? I'm
See
good.
ya.
Just how much can a polar bear? Well, I find out next. And then I finally meet a local who's willing to dance a wee jig with me.
Welcome to another wonderful day here on Fogo Island and Fogo Island Inn. Now, if you remember, I said the first night that I was here, I went to sleep lulled by the sound of the ocean waves lapping up on the shore. And I woke up about 8 hours later. In the morning, the ocean was gone and an ice pack was right up to the shore. Well, I woke up this morning and the ice pack was gone and the ocean came back again. Well, I think it did. I can't quite see that far out. Look, this place and places like this are absolutely stunning. So let's have a look and see some of the initiatives that the inn is taking in order to protect that. From its inception, both the construction and the day-to-day operations were designed to be as sustainable as possible. Now, from a construction point of view, all the material that's used is local, especially all the wood. It was actually grown on one little plot of land on the island. Now, the footprint itself was gentle. There was much less concrete poured than a regular building. And they even went as far as to pick the location so as not to disturb an ancient footpath. And they also removed a lot of the flora that was on a construction site, planted it somewhere else, finished the construction, and brought all the flora back again. Now, from an operational point of view, all the electricity is produced with hydro and solar. All the heat is produced with wood-burning boilers, and all the water is collected from rainwater. And they've even gone as far to keep all the lights low because they truly believe that every human and every animal has the right to darkness.
And that's just a few of the things they're doing here to keep this place as sustainable as possible. Now, we all know that eco-travel is not just about sustainability, it's also about reinvesting back into the community. And they've taken it one step further here. They've actually created an economic nutrition certification mark, which basically breaks down everywhere that the dollars you spend here go to. And they've taken it one step further here again. They actually help you offset your carbon footprint on your travel to get here. So quite the momentous occasion on Fogo Island today. Now, it doesn't happen very often, but today they have a little visitor, or a big visitor, from a little further north, but there's actually a polar bear. Way over here, the whole island has come out. There was traffic jams. All 3 policemen from the island are here to control everybody. Fantastic stuff. Everybody's excited. One of the funniest things today is the whole town come out to see this polar bear. So this was the best spot right here, this lady's house. Unfortunately, it was kind of bad timing because look what she had out on the laundry on the hang. All of her underwear's out to dry, and the whole town comes to see the polar bear. Pretty bad timing. Wow, how exciting was that? We actually saw a polar bear. I think half the town were down there. Now, I have a funny feeling the part of the town that wasn't down there is probably in here at the famous Foley's shed. Now, it's been a long week. We've been crabbing, we've been ice fishing, making furniture. I even managed to find Anne-Marie. But at the end of a long week, what better way to finish it than to come join all your friends in a party. And the way that they do that on the island is everybody shows up to somebody's shed. And we're very privileged and honoured that we've been invited to Phil Foley's shed because it's actually his birthday tonight and we got invited to that party. So let's go check it out. Hello! And what better way to finish an incredible week that I've had here on Fogo Island. Now, I've travelled the world and had many experiences, but nothing has touched my soul like the week that I've had here. Why? Because of these amazing people. It truly is going to be unforgettable. And now I have lifelong friends. So, Slàinte everyone! So you'll come for the Fogo Island Inn, but you'll be captivated by the scenery and you'll leave remembering the people. When I first heard of the inn, I thought it was a beautiful hotel in an amazing location, but maybe not much more. How wrong I was. The inn and the Shorefast charity have done an amazing job rejuvenating the economy of the island, and I don't think I've ever experienced an organisation so focused on the holistic well-being of a whole community. All the while delivered in a warm and welcoming luxury with an incredible attention to detail. So, where does Fogo Island sit on our eco scorecard? Well, taking into account all of our criteria, I give this trip a very well deserved A+. Unfortunately, my time here on Fogo Island has come to an end. You know, when I first arrived here, they told me there were 7 seasons, and to be honest, I didn't believe them. But now I do, because I think I've experienced 4 of them just in one day. But the one thing I'm truly going to take away from this experience is how wonderful the people were on this island. And it's the genius of Zita and the Shorefast Foundation to recognise that and put a world-class property in a unique location and staff it with some of the most hospitable and entertaining characters in the world. Since I've been here, I've seen ice packs, I've seen seals, and I've even seen a polar bear. And it's just a reminder of how important it is to protect environments like this. So, next time you travel, do your very best to keep places like this beautiful and leave no trace.
I'm Richard Crawford. Until next time.
Okay, Ben, there it
It's
goes.
spelled ASS.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, that's all
Oh
right.
my love.
Oh no!
I got
No, you got an all my love,
doing
Ben. You got an all my love.
I'm doing exactly what I was told.
So.